Hello and welcome to things I find interesting that happened today in the past, aka T.I.F.I.T.H.T, I.T.P. This show is all about the events that occurred today in years past, both recognized by actual historians, but mainly things I personally find intriguing enough for me to bring to you. The source of this information comes from the smart device application on this day, the icon of which is shown as cutoff prevention at the beginning and end of each episode. The music in the background is Halcyon by JJD, which I found on the YouTube channel No Copyright Sounds, aka NCS. For links to the app, music, and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar. Anyway, on with the show! Today is Tuesday, aka Tuesday, May 3rd, 2016. In 2003, New Hampshire's famous Old Man of the Mountain collapsed. In 2001, the United States lost its seat on the UN Human Rights Commission for the first time since the commission was formed in 1947. In 2000, the hobby of geocaching began, with the first cache played and the coordinates from a GPS posted on Usenet. In 1978, the first unsolicited bulk commercial email, known today as spam thanks to AOL and their meat-hating ways, was sent by a Digital Equipment Corporation marketing representative to every ARPANET address on the west coast of the United States. In 1973, the 108-story Sears Tower in Chicago was topped out at 1,451 feet as the world's tallest building. In 1963, the police force in Birmingham, Alabama, switched tactics and responded with violent force to stop the Birmingham campaign protesters. Images of the violent suppression were transmitted worldwide, bringing newfound attention to the black civil rights movement. In 1960, the European Free Trade Association, aka EFTA, was established. Also in 1960, the Anne Frank House Museum opened in Amsterdam, Netherlands. Also in 1960, the off-Broadway musical comedy The Fantastics opened in New York City's Greenwich Village, eventually becoming the longest-running musical of all time. In 1957, Walter O'Malley, the owner of the Brooklyn Dodgers, agreed to move the team from Brooklyn to Los Angeles. In 1952, the Kentucky Derby was televised nationally for the first time on the CBS network. Also in 1952, Lieutenant Colonels Joseph O. Fletcher and William P. Benedict of the United States landed a plane at the North Pole. In 1951, the United States Senate Committee on Armed Services and the United States Senate Committee on Foreign Relations began their closed-door hearings into the dismissal of General Douglas MacArthur by U.S. President Harry Truman. In 1948, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled in Shelley v. Kramer that covenants prohibiting the sale of real estate to blacks and other minorities are legally unenforceable. In 1947, a new post-war Japanese constitution went into effect. In 1937, Gone with the Wind, a novel by Margaret Mitchell, won the Pulitzer Prize for Fiction. In 1921, Ireland divided into Northern and Southern Ireland. Also in 1921, West Virginia became the first state to legislate a broad sales tax, but did not implement it until a number of years later due to enforcement issues. In 1913, Raja Harris Hrishandra, the first full-length Indian feature film, was released, marking the beginning of the Indian film industry. In 1877, Labatt Park, the oldest continually operating baseball grounds in the world, had its first game. In 1867, the Hudson's Bay Company gave up all claims to Vancouver Island. In 1855, U.S. adventurer William Walker departed from San Francisco with about 60 men to conquer Nicaragua. In 1830, the Canterbury and Whitstable Railway was opened, becoming the first steam-hauled passenger railway to issue season tickets and also included a tunnel. In 1802, Washington, D.C. was incorporated as a city. In 1791, the Constitution of May 3rd, the first modern constitution in Europe, was proclaimed by Sejm of Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. And in 1715, a total solar eclipse was visible across Northern Europe and Northern Asia, as scientifically predicted by Edmund Halley to within a 4-minute accuracy. And that concludes T.I.F.I.T.H.T I.T.P. Once again, check the underbar for any and all links you may be interested in. For your dose of past events daily, I am Ayo, and you are you. Toodles!